I'm sorry, I have a sweat stash. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a classic battle of Hourglass versus Revlon. I know it's been several weeks since we have filmed, so we've had some things come up in our lives, and so therefore just a slight delay, but I obviously have still been testing makeup even though we weren't filming it. So this was something that I have now tested for about 2 weeks, and I have my thoughts about these two liquid blushes between these two brands. As you can see in terms of the packaging, the gold is the Hourglass here, the white packaging here, this is the Revlon. When I was in Ulta, I saw the Revlon Glimmer blush drops, and I think this is a new release, and I was like, ooh, they both have similar packaging in that it is a liquid blush, and then you actually press on the bottom to get the product out. And so I was like, could be an interesting battle, and it definitely has been this week. So let's go ahead and talk about packaging first. In terms of usability, I will say Hourglass is just one of those brands where this is like they're just luxury makeup through and through, from the way that the products usually perform, and then packaging wise, I do really like this. You have to give this a good shake before you dispense the product to apply to your face. I will say that this feels a lot sturdier. This feels really, really nice in your hand. You can see a little bit of it coming out already just because I did give it a good shake. So this is definitely something that I do enjoy. I don't feel like when you dispense that product, I don't feel like too much of it comes out. On the flip side, I will say the Revlon, from a packaging perspective, you can actually see where some of that has just gotten onto the cap here. This one does come out a little bit faster. There was definitely an incident earlier this week where you can see that it just kind of exploded all over the place on my desk. And so from a packaging perspective, the Revlon one, it feels like a drugstore product. Like, obviously it's not, I would hope that like the Hourglass has a little bit more expensive packaging, so I'm not really gonna ding Revlon on that. Like, no big deal, honestly, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and apply these together on my face, and that's when we will talk about the blendability of both of these liquid blushes. Now, in terms of color, you guys know when I do these battles, I try really, really hard to get the colors to be as similar as I can, mostly just because I do think that from like a formula perspective, sometimes the shade can kind of change the way that the formula works. I will say in terms of like shade variety, Hourglass definitely wins that battle, mostly just because there are a shit ton of shades of this. This one is Whim, which I really like. It's kind of like a Barbie pink color. And then on the Revlon side, this is 102 Pink It Over. I do wish that the Revlon had more shades of this product because I do really like it. So just a little bit of a spoiler. But if you are looking for more variety of shades, Hourglass is definitely the winner in that category. Okay, let's stop blabbing and actually apply these onto my face. Let's get my fringe out of the way and let's do this thing. Okay, so we're gonna do Hourglass first. My favorite way of applying this is just taking this on my finger here, and I'm just gonna take a little bit, and then I'm going to dab this onto my face on the high points here. I'm starting with that much product, taking my foundation brush, and then just lightly blending this in. Now, I will say from an Hourglass perspective, you could see how easy that was to blend onto my skin. Not so surprising from an Hourglass perspective. Part of why I really love a lot of their products is because they're really easy to use. They are products where I feel like if I'm in a rush in the morning and I'm like, dude, I gotta blend this hella fast and know that it's just gonna be on my face, it's gonna look good, it's gonna look seamless, like Hourglass always does tend to do the job. So you can see how easy that experience was in terms of applying it. Now, you can build this product up, so I'm gonna take a little bit more on my finger here, and I'm going to add it again on top here, same place, and just blend that out really, really nicely. And again, you can just see there's no harsh lines. It's not picking up on itself. Like, the way that this blends onto your skin is like freaking beautiful. So from that perspective, Hourglass does really, really well. Now on the other side, we're going to go ahead and apply the Revlon here. I'm going to do the same thing, just take this on my finger here. I'm going to take the same amount, dab, dab, dab this on to my face, and then quickly blend that out with a brush. And this is where you will start to notice a a little bit of a difference in terms of that formula. That Revlon does take a little bit more effort to blend out. You could definitely see that there was a stage right here where I like really kind of had to go in there and make sure that that product was really smoothing out. I feel like I need to press a little bit more on my face when I am doing this. Nevertheless, after you do that, I do think that this product still looks really good on the skin. It does, unfortunately, I feel like skip just a tiny bit, only because I think you do need to use that extra pressure to get that to really blend out on your skin. However, it's not so horrific that I'm like gonna ding it or anything like that, but it does feel like once you put it on your face, you kind of have to act really, really quickly just to make sure that that blush does not dry down too quickly on your face. So I think dry down time wise, the Revlon definitely does go a little bit faster. I'm going to take a little bit more just to make sure that my face is the same. You'll see here with the Revlon, this still does blend in really nicely. I do think that you can nicely layer this product, but again, where you lay down that product, you're definitely going to notice you got to act really quickly, and you're really kind of working to blend that out. So that kind of like that point of impact, you know what I mean? Like, so where I put the product on my face, it was definitely more pigmented. On the Hourglass side, you could just see that I could really smooth it out very quickly. Okay, so I'm just building this up a little bit more so that my two sides match as much as possible. Luckily, the shades are like pretty close. So whenever I was going out wearing like two different products on my face, I didn't actually feel like I looked too crazy. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the finish, because I do think that that is also slightly different. What I would say is that the Hourglass side tends to be a little bit more dewy, a little bit more fresh, if you will. It gives you that like intense hit of glow, as I'm moving my face around, you can really see that. When you look at the Revlon side, it doesn't reflect light as beautifully, but it doesn't look necessarily dead either. So if you're still looking for something that's going to give your skin like a decent amount of glow, or you have really oily skin, the Revlon I think could definitely be a really good opportunity for you to have like that liquid blush experience, but not have it be too glowy to the point where your like oils are just like, wow, fire. Let's go ahead and talk about longevity, because there was a difference in both of these products. So I will definitely say in the summertime, I like a really good liquid complexion product because creams just feel a little bit heavier on the skin. And so I like to use liquids because I just think that, like, if you think about it logically, right? Like a liquid is just a thinner layer on your skin, which means if I'm favoring a liquid during the summer, I really want it to last throughout the day because I'm hot and sweaty as balls like throughout the whole day. So longevity does really matter to me when it comes to my liquid complexion products. Having said that, all right, so Hourglass didn't last as long as the Revlon. Hourglass, I would say this still gives you like a good 6 to 8 hours, I would say. Like, it's not so horrendous, okay, that it like faded within an hour or two or anything like that, because that would just be, I would be like, no, absolutely, no. No, 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 no. For the money, no. It still gives you a decent amount of wear. It does fade really, really beautifully, but it fades. So if you're expecting this to last like all day long, 10 to 12 hours, and you've still got that really beautiful flush, it's beautiful, it just won't be as flushy as kind of like what you are expecting it to be. However, if you are looking for something that's going to be like pigment on your skin, lasts a decent amount of time, I would definitely say that the Revlon is the more long wear between the two. And I do think part of it is because the Revlon is not as glowy of a finish as the Hourglass. The Hourglass really does just, it hits up that hydration look like 100%. And so that's kind of why I think from a longevity perspective, the Revlon does better. The one thing I forgot to say when we were talking about blendability, by the way, and I'm now reversing my brain back, the Hourglass does look really nice on top of powder products. So if you are somebody who likes to reapply products throughout the day, this is one I think you can get away with. You can definitely put this on top of like translucent powder and it still blends out really nicely. I struggled a little bit with the Revlon with that. It's kind of started bunching the powder underneath. And so this is not a product I think you can reapply throughout the day, but the Hourglass is. Take from that what you will. If you're somebody who likes a dewy and you're okay with kind of reapplying product throughout the day, maybe Hourglass is the way to go. If you're somebody where you're like one and done, need you to stay on all day, I think Revlon might actually be the better one for you. So all in all, who won the battle between Hourglass and Revlon? I'll be honest with you guys. this is one of those battles where I'm like, it's inconclusive who the winner is, because I feel like they serve kind of different purposes. I do really like both of them. I honestly, this is really surprising because usually for battles, I'm like, that's definitely a winner. But like for this one, I was very like, well, it just depends on what you want, you know? Like they're kind of just different experiences. I really like both of them. I do think that they have, you know, their purpose for sure. If you don't want to spend Hourglass price, like hit up Revlon for sure. This is definitely much more reasonably priced. It still works really, really well on the skin. I didn't notice anything weird with this. I think the color is really beautiful. So yeah, it just depends on kind of what you want. So yeah, hopefully though, at least talking through all the goods and bads of both of these products was helpful, even though I don't have a conclusive winner. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and follow me over on Instagram, where I really need to get back into posting reels. Oh God, okay, now I just feel stressed out about it, but that's all right. I will see you guys in next time's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.